Okay. Hi, I'm Amy Adato Freeman, class of 95 MBA. And some of you probably were here for Dean Goy's talk as well. But if you weren't here, welcome into this session, which is going to be on AI. I graduated with my MBA 30 years ago at the beginning of the dot-com boom. So see, one of my classmates still here in the back, and a couple of them may be coming in and out. So that was a big time of uncertainty for us when we were graduating, and now we're in a whole new time period of uncertainty in AI. So we've put this panel together. I have Musha Chalar, did I pronounce it right? Musha Chalar, Professor of Practice in Business Analytics and Management Science. Rob Laka, Professor of Practice and Management at the Albert R. LePage Professor in Business and Executive Director of the Albert LePage Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And then Yatish Hegde, who is a lecturer in management science. And these professors are teaching the students here about AI, exploring AI. If you have questions, ask AI what to ask them, because that's what I did this morning when I was preparing to moderate this panel. I was like, what kind of question should I ask an AI panel? And it was kind of interesting what came out. I don't know, I use ChatGPT and Perplexity. Does anybody use Perplexity? Okay, because I'm learning from my New York classmates from undergrad that Perplexity is better than ChatGPT. So I don't know if that's true, but that's one of my college roommates who tells me this all the time, and she's in PR crisis management, so she does a lot of things. So anyway, I welcome these three, and they're going to kind of kick off and tell you what their areas of expertise are, and then we'll open it up for questions in a bit. So would you like to start? Yes. And I think you have a mic on. I just don't. Okay.
Test. Test. Test.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
First, I'm going to do a presentation. Then I think Rob will do a presentation, and we can discuss the questions at the very end. Hi, everyone. Hello. How are you doing? Good. Are you tired? Yeah. All right. Because I was in the previous session with you, if you remember, our dean's address. I hope you are enjoying the nice weather in New Orleans and the positive energy on our campus and also in our fancy building. My name is Musa Çağlar. I am a professor of practice in management science area. Management science area is different from management. Management science area faculty teaches courses in business analytics, AI, information systems, and supply chains and operations. I also serve as a director of the certificate in business analytics and AI. I will give a brief presentation on why we have started this brand new certificate, and also I'm going to discuss the core technical classes. So when we look at our strategy, Freeman School strategy, our roadmap, we have areas like academics, innovation, research, connections, organizational excellence. And under academics area, we have goals like expand curriculum in data analytics and technology, expand hands-on experiential learning throughout course offerings, develop new industry certificates. So why we have these goals? Because as a school, we want to make sure that our students have the necessary knowledge, skills, mindset, and experience to face the challenges of tomorrow. And nowadays, one of the challenges is, AI. So when we look at the latest reports from McKinsey, DataCamp, or other companies' research reports and surveys, we can clearly see the growing importance of data and AI skills. For instance, when you look at the fastest growing 7 skills, 4 of them are data and analytics skills, like data literacy, AI literacy, business intelligence, data science. Therefore, hiring managers, leaders are willing to pay more for those AI and data skills. So I'm going to show you some results real quick. This is for data literacy skills, and this is for AI literacy skills from recent data camp report, in which more than 500 leaders are being asked some questions about data skills and AI. So the first results, if you look at the left chart, you're going to see most of the leaders either agree or strongly agree that they are willing to pay more premiums if students know data and AI skills. How much more? What is the premium as a percentage, right? Most of the responses are like 10%, 20%, 30% premium if the new graduates know those AI and data skills. The same for AI literacy. So leaders, hiring managers are willing to pay more for those skills. In a recent Forbes article by our dean, Paula Goss, innovation and transformation of the business come from the new mix of AI and human inputs, which highlights the critical importance of human-AI interaction in solving complex business problems and challenges. So right now, we all know that AI will transform, and right now is transforming all areas of life, from education to business, energy, all aspects of life. So I believe, in my opinion, as professors, instructors, educators, we need to educate our students as master learners who learns how to solve business problems through critical thinking, AI, and analytical tools. Then generate insights and visualizations, but that are filtered by their human judgment before communication. And then they need to communicate the results that create the value. Therefore, in this fall semester, we started brand new certificate, undergrad certificate in business analytics and AI. So, as Paul said in the previous session, in certificate programs, in general, we have 4 classes with 12 credits. In our program, we have 3 core classes and 1 elective. 3 core classes, one of them is business analytics with Python. In this class, students learn how to solve some predictive and prescriptive problems using Python and libraries. In some classes, they also use AI to help them write code. We have another class, AI for Business. In this class, students learn fundamentals of machine learning and AI with the tools. They also use AI agents for the first time to solve complex business problems. The instructor, professor of the class is here, Yatish. If you want to say something more about this class, you can say.
Sure. So what our students are doing is they are exploring a lot of different AI tools. In the initial part of the class, the students were given a background of machine learning and AI, so they really understand what AI is about. It's not like a magic box. It tries to predict what's the probability of the word, one word that it's trying to predict, the next word, right? If you give a context. That's what the AI is doing, the large language model is doing. And they kind of understand that through machine learning models, through neural networks in the beginning. So you kind of know that machine learning models or AI models that we are using today has some kind of an error rate, and it's not always fantastic, and they know what this error rate is about. And where this LLM is the best fit. So we kind of explore different use cases, business use cases, and try different tools, business tools, to understand where you can make use of the AI for productivity, right? So if you can increase, do some repetitive tasks with AI, and that gives you better results than human doing it, so it saves some time. And then where you can introduce human in the loop. Kind of create different workflows with human and AI to understand where human AI is more applicable in the business field, and trying to understand from a business context, try to solve business problems using AI tools, build agents, AI agents that can improve really productivity in the workplace, and basically trying to match what our employers are asking is come prepared with AI background and your experience in AI. That matters, right? So the students kind of know now where AI is applicable, where you can use AI and make use of AI for productivity in your workplace, and where you actually need human input. So that's what I teach in that class. It's the first time we have this class, and students are enjoying it. They have a lot of different experience using different kinds of AI agentic tools, starting with understanding what is machine learning and AI, and then now they are into building AI agentic workflows, which is basically solving real business use cases, right? Quantitative problems in business, and how you can use AI to solve those problems, and where humans, sorry.
What is Python?
So Python is a programming language. I don't use Python in my class because we have business students coming from different backgrounds. So they use AI tools like workflow tools, AI agentic platforms, starting with simple large language models, trying with Claude or ChatGPT, to using different AI tools such as Zapier or Google Opal or Vibe coding and all of that. Yeah, so Python, we have a class that teaches Python, which is programming in Python. So that's a programming language, so students need to understand. So if you're, for some type of business use cases, for example, if you're if you're doing data analysis, right? Whether you use an AI to do data analysis, whether you write your own programs to do data analysis, data analysis is a quantitative process. So if you use an AI, AI has to write a program to solve that quantitative process, right? And AI can make mistakes when it's trying to do that. And so that's where having some knowledge in the programs really help. So AI can go and change, if you give a prompt, it can go and change the programs. It can modify the programs. It can give you very quickly what this modification you're asking. But sometimes you may end up in loop where you keep prompting to make changes, but it's not really making the changes that you're asking. It might be quicker to just go and change one line of code yourself. So having that knowledge of the programs really helpful. Even though AI can do 90% of the jobs in programming, you still have to have that 10% to fill it up.
Just to add for this, Python is a programming language, but we are not teaching Python like a software development perspective. We are using Python libraries with just one line. We import the libraries, and then the rest is like writing Excel function. From the library, we call the function, we pass in the data, apply the method algorithm, and then analyze the results. So we are using the Python or R from the business practitioner perspective. So it's like once upon a time we have COBOL, we have C++, now we have R and Python in the data science or analytics stack. Yes, and the other course we have business data exploration and visualization. In this course, students learn how to create charts and dashboards using in Power BI and Tableau. Also, students use AI to help them design some charts and some dashboards, like what are the metrics, how we can orient the dimensions, so on and so forth. Also, in this class, students will use AI, specifically Boodlebox, for the first time. It's a brand new course in the upcoming semester, as a collaborative partner, like a teammate in their project. These are 3 core classes. Also, we have 1 elective from the current offerings. Students can select among 3 options, one of the classes as an elective, research and analytics, social and online marketing, or accounting analytics. All right, I'm going to close in 2 minutes, Rob. So when I read the recent interviews of godfathers of AI, those are the guys who had done the academic work 30 years ago. And now AI is shining because of the computing power and data centers and chips, right? So when I read their latest interviews, their advice is as follows to new students who are coming to business schools or other schools. So you need to follow your truth-seeking curiosity. And you need to learn how to think. You need to learn critical thinking. And you need to master foundational knowledge in your area of interest or in your major. And you need to understand your field, your domain. Because without domain knowledge, it is very hard to learn, it is very hard to run machine learning models or guide the AI. And lastly, they say the ability to adapt is very important in nowadays business environment. So when I look at the famous industry guys like Bill Gates and Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, Bill Gates called it as AI is the biggest technical thing ever in his lifetime. And it is more than what we have seen in the past in terms of technology. And he believes the value of AI is tremendous. Jensen Huang says he uses AI every day in a recent interview. And AI helps him to solve highly challenging business problems. And also he says, I'm going to quote, asking good questions is a highly cognitive skill. It is not that easy. It is not just prompting. It is more than that. You need to give the context. You should have the domain knowledge. You should trust but verify. So this is my last slide. I have my friends in my inner circle working at top companies like Amazon, Walmart, Morgan Stanley, Indeed. And I ask them, hey guys, in this AI era, what is the current expectation from the new grads? For the most part, they are saying, hey, Musa, look, the needs of business will always be changing. This is inevitable. This is indispensable. So the new graduates must stay adaptable. They should keep learning after graduation and acquire new skills. And they need to build their technical depth. They need to know how to apply things, approaches, methods, frameworks. Also, they need to understand why they are doing this for business problems. The why question is very important in the practice. And lastly, they say the students need to embrace the change faster than the rest. Thank you so much for your patience. If you have any questions about technical AI analytics, I will more than to answer them. Then, yes, sure.
So I'm a layman in this, so my question may be very simple.
Let me give you the microphone because then everyone can hear. Yes.
Could you explain fintech and how it relates to AI and the certification? And when we think of fintech, are we talking about mathematicians and
Financial
programmers.
technology.
Financial technology, but there's different levels of that. So can you explain these courses in relationship to fintech? Is this more for managing businesses and getting the data you need in your as a decision maker in your business versus fintech and developing technologies and things like that? As a person who does a certification, are they kind of that business liaison between the technical people and the users or things like that?
Yeah, great question. The question is the certificates relation somewhat with fintech or financial technologies. I will say when we design the program, the analytics and AI is regardless of majors, right? So we will have examples, so we will have business problems in nature, like predictive problems, prescriptive problems, or some complex problems, or other problems like visualizations, or metrics, or dimensions, or reports. And we are trying to teach the ideas, for instance, in Python class. Definitely they're gonna use some examples from finance to solve some financial portfolio optimization problems, maybe. But there is not exactly specific financial tech, but we are trying to teach the ideas, methods that can be applied to not only finance, but also management, operations, marketing, or energy. So it is like we are giving the applicable ideas regardless of the major. Yeah.
But they wouldn't be able to program, obviously.
So in Python class, not like a software developer, but like a application-wise practitioner, they're gonna use some like scikit-learn library, some library to apply some predictive and prescriptive stuff.
So when we talk about, I guess I don't know, in the world of fintech, something like that, we're talking about mathematical models of like wealth managers. They're using all these different softwares now
Yes.
to do analysis. And you go to 5 different wealth managers, they each have a different software.
Yes, yes.
So they need to know how to use that software. And then I think understanding the levels of that programming, is there already a base that is everyone is working off of, and now they are, adding on their specific customizations? Is that the level at which we are with data analysis? Is that, when we talk about layers of programming, then we've done this much programming, and now everyone's kind of working at this level off of the programming. So can you just talk about that in the business world?
I hate to interrupt, but like maybe this could be a conversation offline because there are other people with questions and I have 2 other professors up here. So, I mean, I am moderating. So I don't know if Rob, if you had something to say or Gatish before I open up for more questions, but I know there are more questions. What would y'all prefer? Because I know we're limited on time. Yeah, I want to make sure I get you some share. Okay, can I let Rob share what he needs to share? Okay, sorry. Thank you for understanding.
So I was asked to come in and sort of share how do we look at AI, not just, am I good? Cool. Not just in the actual program where we're teaching AI analytics, but I run the entrepreneurship program. And so I teach entrepreneurship classes. Y'all didn't know it, but you walked into my classroom a few minutes ago. This is mine, okay? Like, I love this place. This is my sacred zone right here, and y'all just walked into it. So you all became students. You didn't know it or not, but so I'm going to pass out. It's not an assignment, but it is what we're about to work on for the next. You'll pass those around. I teach cases in entrepreneurship in this class. And so for those of you who have ever learned the cases method, we go through Harvard Business School cases mostly, also UVA and some other schools put out cases we use. We go through 14 real cases, and this is one of them that I've had a real problem trying to figure out how to teach the right way. This is the story of Travis Kalanick at Uber, who's the CEO of Uber. He had 3 things happen within a span of about 2 weeks. One, his mom tragically died in a boating accident. They were very close, and she passed away in a boating accident on a lake. Second, he had a blog go viral from an employee. Her name was Susan Fowler. She was accusing her supervisor, who in the first week of being in the office, the supervisor propositioned her to join him in a threesome. And that was something that, that she brought up with her then HR department, and they refused to sanction that person because they said he was a top performer. The third thing, so she had a blog that was going viral on that. The third thing is he had cursed out an Uber driver when he was in the back of an Uber and he was clearly intoxicated when he did so, and it was recorded. And that was going viral on Bloomberg News. So all those three things are happening in Travis Kalanick's life as the company that he had built from the ground up. In this case, from 2017, and for those of you who are New Orleans Saints fans, I just love the fact that the reason why he was drunk is he was at a Super Bowl party. 28-3 is all I'll say. It was the same year, right? So like one of my proudest moments is, this is actually in my book, I had them add in the index Atlanta Falcons, and if you go to that page, you see 28-3. So I felt very proud of that moment. So my indexer is like, I don't know why this is important. I'm like, trust me, I need to do this. So my problem though with this teaching this case is that I have a classroom that it's 90 some students every year. Every one of these seats is full. And I have to try and personally engage with each of them because that's what they deserve. They deserve the engaged, deep relationship that I hope I'm able to build with every single student in my classroom where they feel like they are getting a wonderful education even though they're in a lecture hall. That's a challenge. And in an era where so many of our students spend so much time just looking at screens and not having conversations, it's really hard for me to not just feel like a screen where I'm just entertaining them and then they go away. How do I build a relationship with them? And so what I've learned to do is to use AI in a way that I bring into the classroom and give them an experience that they will be able to think back on, not only talk about in job interviews, but hopefully use 15, 20 years from now, which is where they literally are in a board simulation, where they're Travis Kalanick's board in that moment where those three crises are happening. And so let me show you what it looks like. This is the tool that was mentioned earlier. It's called Boodlebox, and this is TKAI. That's what that says right there, TKAI. I'll type begin simulation. Well, I can even misspell it, and it will still work, I hope. So what this does is that this is working off of a knowledge bank that I pulled from my own book, from transcripts of who Travis Kalanick, what he said in public, from the case itself that you guys are looking at the summary of, and from other content. I literally go in and describe exactly Travis Kalanick's swagger, his style. I personalize this bot to try and give them a real-world experience of who that CEO would show up to be in 2017 in the boardroom. Everybody understand what I've sort of set up here? I break them up into teams of 5, and then I and my TA will go around and make sure it's flowing nicely. But what it does is it literally is creating this right now in real time based upon the knowledge bank that I have. And so it's saying, good morning, Travis Kalanick here. First, I want to thank you all for joining this board meeting. It sets it up, okay? What he's going to try and do is not talk about the 3 things that I said we should talk about. He's going to try and talk about how great the company is because they're growing. So let's see what happens when I ask him. I say, so sorry to hear about your mom, but we need to talk about the Fowler situation. And so I'm trying as a board member to address the most important issue that I would view, which is the fact that there's this sexual harassment issue at this company that seems rampant. And what he's saying, let me be direct, well, it's not acceptable. Without it going public, I've already dealt with it. Let me be clear, anyone who behaves this way. And what I ask my students to do is to not let him drive the conversation, but as a board member, it is your fiduciary duty to address this issue. And the decision that they have to make is the question of the case. Do they fire Travis Kalanick or not? Now, this is the man who's literally been the founder and the reason why Uber has been successful up until this point. And what happens is if they just accept this, I get all the transcripts, right? If they just accept this and that's his answer, they lose points. Because that's not the right way of handling a board meeting, right? And so instead, let's assume that you're one of the A students in my class, and you guys would all be the A students in my class, right? Say, that's insufficient.
Critical thinking.
What more should we be doing here? And so it literally is going through all of this, right? You change the leader. That's literally a quote from the case, right? and it goes down here, and it will keep going. Now, why have I set it up like this? It's because I want my students to be engaging in real time as if they're in the boardroom with Travis Kalanick, okay? That's pretty incredible that they in 5-person teams are debating what to discuss next. They go back and forth for 30 minutes, and that's the way I've set this up. It's a way of them having the cases come alive and have them have experiential learning using AI where it's not replacing an experience, it's actually giving them a stimulation, right? This is something that I built out and thought, well, this could be fun. It worked, and so now I'm going to do it both with Mark Zuckerberg when he is in a case where they are buying up a bunch of companies, and you're on his board then, and Mark Zuckerberg when he's just a kid who's just dropped out of Harvard and you're his first investor. I'm going to show them that people change over time and that leadership looks different in different moments when you're grappling with Zuckerberg as the CEO of a publicly traded company versus when he's in that startup. Right? And so for me as the guy who's teaching entrepreneurship, I want to show entrepreneurship is about decision making. It's about problem solving. And it's about not just the big problem of like, how do I build the next Facebook or the next Uber? It's how do I make real decisions based upon principles and values that matter to me in very difficult moments, right? And so why does that work? Well, it goes back to the earlier point about critical thinking. And the way that I teach this, and you guys are just getting my sort of, best hits, right? So like, I'm not going to be able to sort of replicate this every day, but I will say this. This is one of the things that students come back to me and say, because you gave me that analogy, it stuck with me, and I think about it all the time. And here's what it is. Imagine that you're in a movie, okay? You're in a movie, and you're interacting, and you're reacting, and you're having emotions. Sometimes you're losing control of your emotions. You're in the movie. But I said you're in a movie, so that means you could actually take a step back, and you could see yourself on the screen, right? You're watching yourself having that interaction. Maybe if you're watching yourself, you actually understand that like some of the reactions you have, you probably shouldn't have had, right? Some of the ways that you emotionally lashed out, you maybe shouldn't have done. Maybe that was coming from a place that you're not proud of. Maybe you're even getting sort of like dark humor about what's happening in your life that you can understand better because you're sitting there eating the popcorn watching the movie, right? That's the level of sort of next level thinking that we want them to do. Not just like you were the decision maker, but you're thinking about how you think. But I said you're in a movie, so you're in a movie theater, you can watch yourself. We can zoom above the movie theater. That's metacognition, okay? That's understanding in a higher level order of thinking. How do I think about, how do I want to write the script for the way I will interact at those moments? Everybody understand that? I want to be the screenwriter for myself. Because that's the agency we want our students to have, especially in an era of AI, where everything's moving so fast, they feel like they're just reacting on the screen. They don't have a chance to know what's true or false. They don't have a chance to know what's deepfaked or not. They don't have a chance to really even feel like they can be human. And so we are giving them a huge gift, I think, by teaching them how to critically think, by giving them real-world experiences that come through AI. And so that's what we're using in our entrepreneurship classroom. I'll share as well that one of the other great joys of my job is I get to work in the business community. And so pass these out. These are 2 news stories that came out in the last few weeks. Thank you. About how we're using this in the business community. And so I'm a part of this group called the New Society. It's New Orleans, so everything's misspelled, N-I-E-U-X. It's about what's new and what's next. And we hosted an event for, it was about 50 different leaders in our ecosystem, investors, entrepreneurs, to say, what do we want to tell the next mayor as we're planning on what's coming up next for our city? And the way we did it was using a tool kind of like this one, but actually a little bit even better. I'm actually going to go ahead and just use the mic, folks, to see if I can use it on my phone just so that it doesn't miswire here. Hopefully this works and you guys can hear it. Let's try this out. So this is using a platform called 11 Labs. Is anybody ever familiar with 11 Labs or tried it? Cool, I've got a couple of you. All right, let's try it out. So Tim Williamson is the guy who hosts the New Society. He's a dear friend. He's a total mesmerizingly amazing human being. He's captivating. He started the Idea Village 25 years ago. And he's someone who's a real leader in our community. He's the one who's hosting this. Listen to this. This is Tim's voice. It's not actually Tim.
Hi, this is Tim Williamson. Really the AI version of Tim. I'm excited to see you in New Orleans on September 12th to reimagine the next 25 years of New Orleans' entrepreneurial ecosystem. To make the meeting impactful for you, we are using new technology to get us aligned. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and your answers will be incorporated into the AI database so that when we see each other in person, we can move fast. You know, ready to get started?
Great, thanks, Tim. What do you need from me?
I'm glad you are ready to get started. To begin, could you share your name and your connection to New Orleans? Also, what initially brought you into the entrepreneurial ecosystem here?
Yeah, Tim, so I'm Rob Laka. I run the LePage Center at Tulane, and I'm really passionate about helping students to have a place to build great companies here in New Orleans.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to hear your passion for helping students build companies right here in New Orleans. What does the city mean to you, and why is it important for these students to build their companies here rather than somewhere else?
Well, I mean, two things. One, I think that we need to have greater access to capital so they can get started. And two, we need to serve them Plum Street snowballs every single time they start a company.
I love it. Access to capital is definitely key, and who can resist a Plum Street snowball, especially when celebrating a new venture? Speaking of which, what's your go-to flavor at Plum Street?
Oh, Tim, you can't beat the good purple stuff. Let's go purple on that one, huh?
You know, you just can't beat the classics. So, Rob, tell me, how did you first get started in New Orleans entrepreneurial ecosystem?
And it goes on and on and on. And people literally spoke to Tim for 35, 40, 50 minutes. These are leaders in our city, top investors, spent the time before a meeting that they would never have spent, okay? Because it was fun, it was interesting, it was unique. And then all of that data, all those transcripts came together, and it helped plan for the meeting so that when we showed up, we knew what we shared in common, what we disagreed on. All of the planning for the meeting and all of the sort of initial conversations were taken care of ahead of time. When we got there, we got to work. We already knew what we thought we agreed on and what we disagreed on, and the entire setup was structured around that. And then they had AI listening throughout the entire time so that then they had meeting notes literally as soon as we finished. Okay? What's that do? It makes us more human. It means that we can literally discuss things we agree on, disagree on, but in a more productive way. That to me is the best stuff that AI is coming, and my hope is that the classroom is a place where we can really start to create new opportunities for all our students to do it. So.
I think we're kind of limited on time left. Do you have something that you want to add before we open up for questions?
No, I'm good. Someone is asking questions.
Okay, let me see. Lucy, should I? Oh, you have it. She has a mic right there. We have about 5 minutes left.
Oh, thanks. This is really impressive. My question is, does every Freeman student have access to this program in your classes, or is there a way of getting in?
So for the certificate?
Yes, the three classes that you...
Yeah, for the certificate in business analytics and AI, they need, so to complete the whole courses, whole program, they need to register, like they need to declare. But any Freeman student can register one of the classes if their curriculum allows, their schedule allows.
Is this for juniors and seniors, or?
Usually we target the seniors. And in 1 year, fall semester, spring semester, in their senior year, they can finish those 4 classes and they can get certified in their transcript.
It's really impressive, thanks.
Just question, how much work was it for you to set up the simulation in the background?
Yeah, the first time I did it, it took me a couple hours to figure out how to build it in the right way. But I'm going to build one for every case. I haven't started yet because I'm busy with a new class I'm teaching this semester. I'll do it over a break.
But it's not, I mean, a couple hours is not, considering the final product is pretty amazing, so, okay.
Yes, hi. Thank you. This has been fantastic. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, just a little closer. So just quickly, I'm wondering, we all hear how AI is going to displace white-collar jobs, et cetera. Curious about your opinion in that regard. You kind of mentioned it in one of your slides already. Sort of what are you doing to make sure that the students partner with AI, right, and don't compete with it? And speed of adoption, right? There's a lot of talk, obviously, by, you know, Jensen, et cetera. It's fast, but of course he's speaking in his own book, right? He's got to say that, right? All the money they're spending. Do you really think it'll be that quick? Is it going to be like miraculous in 2 years, or is this really more of a longer term, 3-5 years?
So in my opinion, the transformation will not happen in just days or months. It will take some years. Like, if you want to see truly transformation, it is not about days or months. It's about years. So the next decade will be different. So it is not that fast because the companies are experimenting with large language models, AI agents. They experiment, they fail, they learn, and they do better experiments. And the AI tools are also rapidly advancing. They are improving. My answer is in years.
Yeah, look, I mean, I would just say, like anything, there's a lot of hype and a lot that we don't know, but based upon sort of what's out there. I mean, 80% of all the stock market gains since ChatGPT came out have been around the AI companies. That's insane. Like, that's an amazing, like, reality we're dealing with. Is that bubble-like? Maybe. But at the same time, I know personally the power of this technology, and I'm using it, and so I think both can be true at the same time. It can both, in the markets, be bubble-like behavior, and at the same time create immense value that people start to figure out.
Yeah, I was going to add on to what Hussein and Rob was saying. So that is, if it comes to the use of AI, right, in the real world, which companies are really using and making use of AI for productivity, for increasing sales or revenue or profit, starting from the big tech out there. If you have seen how much revenue or profit they're growing in the last couple of quarters, the big techs have actually shown big progress, right? If you come, Amazon, Microsoft, to name a few, they're showing. So the AI demand is actually outpacing the supply. So that says something about where our world is heading. Next, when it comes to smaller players, smaller companies and mid-scale companies, they don't probably have the capacity to build a quick AI team and show how AI can be used for productivity. Although it happens over time, they are not able to show that very quickly. But the big companies have the budget, have the manpower, have everything that they have to quickly show. They build a model and then they use it for productivity and then show that now we have the profit, right? But we still don't know how much they're spending and how much profit they're making in the AI space, because they're building out big infrastructures in terms of NVIDIA chips and all of that. So maybe in the future we'll see the actual revenue and profits when more earnings are released. That's not my area, by the way, right? But what we're seeing now is there is a real use case for AI, to increase productivity, right? In whichever area you're talking about, right? So I have my students here, Daniel and Henry. They're taking my AI in business class. We're experimenting a lot of tools and where exactly AI could be helpful, taking different business use cases. And we're actually seeing stunning results, like how AI can be used for productivity, right? And what I've been hearing is that when 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when the internet, the dot-com bubble, and then there was a bust. So there was somebody who's talking about this, and he said that the dot-com bubble got formed, and it was bust. But then the real progress actually happened after the bust, because it took time for the people to adopt this new technology and then make it more productive in their environment. So that's going to happen in the AI case as well. So it's the smaller companies and everybody's mid-scale companies, everybody is going to learn how AI can be used, and some are really lagging because they don't have the power to build this AI team and experiment how it can be used. But these big techs are really leading, and they are showing progress. And then the smaller ones will catch up in 2 or 3 years, or maybe 5 years, right? So we will see that happening.
I think we only have time for one more question. I know you had the microphone. I know you also have a question, but
Okay. Okay, thank you. I think on one of the slides in the very beginning, you may have spoken about
customizing some of the certificates, and I was wondering if you can speak a little bit more about that, specifically given that AI is moving so quickly, disrupting so many industries across the board, and if students have an opportunity to come to you to customize their interests and their curiosity and be able to suggest a custom kind of major even, including the AI disruption, and I was wondering if you would be open to that or how that process might work.
So right now, the program is open to all majors. Right now, I don't know the answer to this question, to be honest. But trust but verify. So right now, like when we are designing, while we are designing classes, we are trying to touch all of the majors like operations, management, finance, marketing. So we have examples from marketing, finance. But maybe in the future, I don't know if there is a strong demand from students. Right now, our registration is 40. We have 40 students officially declared that they're going to pursue the certificate for this year. If there's a strong demand, let's say financial tech, maybe we can create another program in fintech with AI. But we need to have more resources, faculty, and more other support from the dean's office. Yeah, why not, I will say. But in the future, not now.
So I want to add one more thing, just because it may be a little out of context, but we have the Masters of Business Analytics and AI in our business school. So those who are in undergraduate studies can take some graduate level courses when they are doing their undergrad, and they can quickly spend one more year. And if they're really interested in going into this analytics and AI field, they can spend one more year, which is 4+1, and they get a Master of Business Analytics and AI. So.
I want to thank our panel for and enjoy your rest of your weekend and roll wave. These guys, one of you have to teach a class, but the rest of them are figure around.
When you guys say that someone because it made the women all warm inside when he worked that stick. Then he pulled out that long black horn and he made it scream and shout. And he played the blues all deep and hard. That's when I passed out. Huh? Sing it for me, darling. I just couldn't take it no more.